the very strongest piece possible, we fire it for 2 hours at 1650. When I'm torch firing, I'm only firing it for 2 minutes. Okay, so it's not going to be the very strongest, but for something like a charm or earrings or something like that, or even a pendant, it's fine. Anything that's not going to get a lot of, could get banged against the wall or, whatever. Hitting someone, you don't want to do that. So I do have a timer, but I find for me what works best is to have my watch set up in some way that I can see the second hand moving, and I put it somewhere where it's right in front of my face, because I don't want to be looking up and away, because you could melt your piece. So what I'm shooting for is a glowing orange. And first what's going to happen is the piece is going to start to smoke. It's going to catch on fire, and that's totally normal. The larger the piece, the more fire you're going to get, but this is pretty small, so it won't be a very large flame at all. The fire will go out, and you actually, if you're looking at it close enough, you probably could see it shrinking a little. And it will start to kind of curl up a little bit on itself, but then it will go back down again. This is just a creme brulee torch from Bed Bath & Beyond. Use your 20% off discount. And I think it even came with ramekins too. And I don't know if anyone's ever used these, but the way to fill them is there's a little hole in the bottom, and then the can comes like that, and you just fill it that way. You push it down and fill it. And I already have this filled, so there's no point in doing that. But that's how you would do it if you were going there.
And that's butane, right?
Correct. Scott, in the corner back there, there's a bag with little candles and matches. Can you hand that to me? Box matches. Thank you. The automatic lighter on this particular torch doesn't work anymore, so I have to do a little candle thing. I guess I'll have to save up for a new torch. And I can't be bothered with one of those clicker thingies. All right. And anyone who wants to try torch firing today is welcome to do that. All right? So, and I can stand there with you when you're ready to. So turn it on, and then there's a lock on the side so that I don't have to keep holding it. So now we'll see. It's going to smoke, catch on fire. I'm just going to get more white as opposed to gray. It is starting to curl a little. Does everyone see that?
Mm-hmm. You just want to keep it even.
I'm at the glowing orange now. So once I get it to the glowing orange, and you would see this much more clearly if the light wasn't so strong overhead. But now that I'm at that stage, I'm going to start timing for 2 minutes. This is where it kind of gets boring. So does anyone have any good jokes?
You have to keep it moving?
Well, yeah, because you want to make sure it's the whole thing is staying, yeah. And the other thing is that if I would stand still on it, it might start to overheat. And if you, the telltale sign that you could be close to melting it is if you start seeing a flash of something shiny. So, like if it flashes shiny, you want to like pull the torch away a little bit. But I'm holding a nice even temperature. I'm almost at a minute. I did this at a trade show one day, all day. I didn't have any, my mouth was so dry by the end of the day.
Your arms must have hurt too.
I kept changing sides, left and right.
I mean, it seemed like a long time when you're doing it, right?
Now there are other methods, other alternatives besides torch firing or a large kiln. And mine's really not large, but a kiln like I have. They do have a lot of alternatives. There's like one of the sources that I'll be sending you, they've come up with something called a speed fire cone, and it's like this little housing unit that screws on top of a propane tank, and it will fire the pieces in that unit for you. And I think they're about 150. And I know that just recently the one company came up with yet another little tiny kiln. So they're trying to make it as economical for people as possible.
Yeah,
About
like
10
get the
seconds.
silver in their
Yeah, I
hands.
know. Well, the bronze and the copper are very cheap compared to the silver, but
Do you want to sit
they have
here and
issues.
get it from
Okay,
the
so
side?
that is now done. And that is very hot, so if you do it,
And what do you have that on? It's just a
that's
flat
just
stone?
oh, this is a
that's-
like a firing brick, and then this
Right.
is just a piece of one of my kiln shelves.
Oh,
I'm
okay.
gonna borrow your wood.
Sure.
Since there's not a stone in here, I can quench it.
Ooh. So if there is a
Little
stone.
pot. I have to just let it draw air cool. Okay, so now it is metal. And if I, well, what we, I mean, it really metal all along. It's just that
Right.
now it's more recognizable, like what we associate it with metal. And just to, I'm burnishing this now. Any really smooth metal object you can use for burnishing. This is just one of the ball styluses, so I'll just pass that around.